Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next short attention span webinar. Kelly Malazzi, how are you?
I'm doing well, Bill. How are you?
I'm well. I know you're well because I look you up on LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm basically just a professional creeper. That's all.
Nice. Well, that's what social media is. It's many, many ways to stalk a person.
And it's funny. I was getting my hair cut recently, and the woman who cuts my hair. She said, I don't even have to ask you how you are because I follow you on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of stared at each other for 10 or 15 minutes when she cut my hair. I didn't have to tell her anything. So let's talk today about how salespeople can use LinkedIn, and we will get some thoughts here. First of all, we've got to get them to get LinkedIn, right? And then it's funny. How many people do you talk to, Kelly, that still don't use this incredibly important social media device?
I think the number's probably shrinking every day, but it does still stun me that there are people that aren't on it. And to me, it's just kind of one of those things that should be an automatic. So, folks, if you're not on it, do it. It's super easy. If you can't figure it out on your own, you can certainly find somebody who can help you.
And then, really spend not don't just sign up for it, but spend some time on your homepage. Understand that people are going to check you out. I don't. Do you get that email, Kelly, that says how many, who and how many people checked you out on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I mean, this is all about your profile. This can give somebody such a very rich kind of picture of who you are and what you're about. I mean, and now especially the thing is we should Bill probably be doing this short attention span webinar about every 6 months because it changes so frequently.
Mm.
They're constantly adding new products and services. The new thing now is the endorsements where people who know you can say that you know something about a particular skill or skill set. So
Right.
it's very, very data rich information. And yeah, the more you spend on it and the more time you spend, I should say, kind of fleshing out all the different things about your background and your again, your skills and who you know. I mean, it just puts you in touch with exponentially that many more people.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that whole endorsement thing is, you're right. That's kind of the latest deal. I
Mm-hmm.
like this goal. We've talked about this in the past, Kelly. We've said, look, make it your goal, something modest. Reach out to 5 people a week. Five
Mm-hmm.
people a week. And because the time that you need that rich network, you if you don't have a rich network, you can't just snap your fingers and say, well, I'm going to go reach out to 5 or 600 people at once. First of all, they'll shut you down for it. A lot of people just empty their address book, and you will get flagged as a collector or a spammer or something, but they shut you down. Set a goal. It's amazing that when I'm doing research with a customer and we get to LinkedIn, it's incredible how close I am to these people I've never met before.
Mm-hmm.
Weird companies, and I'm like one connection away from them because I've got a couple thousand people in my network. Now, Kelly, when you are requested, when someone says, "Please link with me," how judicious are you with accepting?
I accept from everybody, but I kind of feel like I have to now because, Bill, you and I are so famous. Um, and we have such huge followings on our blogs and in this industry that again I feel like there have been people that I've actually gone back and deconnected with because they were spammers.
Yeah.
But other than that, I kind of look at it as if you're even remotely connected to this industry, I want to be connected to you.
I don't know whether I'm going to edit that out or not. That was funny.
Yeah.
We're that famous. Yeah. But do set a weekly goal, and yes, you can ask them for if you're connecting with somebody that you want to talk to, ask for that appointment, and check them out. You can also use LinkedIn to do research on a company. It's the nice thing about this, I think, is that second bullet point there, Kelly, going after former employees,
Mhm.
because people, of course, want that on their resume. What could a former employee tell you that would help you in the sales call?
Well, again, they could help you navigate, who your best contacts are. They could also, depending on, whether they are a happily satisfied former employee or a disgruntled employee, they may be in possession of some information that could be helpful to you, but certainly they may be more willing to share information about incumbent vendors. purchasing behaviors and processes.
Mm.
Because, while they work for the company, it may not be something they're allowed to disclose, but once they don't work there anymore, it may be a little bit easier for them to share.
Mhm.
So there's just a lot of different ways that a former employee could be of use.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially if they're in sales, salespeople will help other salespeople.
Yeah.
So reach out and say, "This is what I'm trying to do. How can you help me?" And I think you'll get some help. This is the other big thing, and I don't think enough people do this, is to ask for recommendations. And you can ask up to, I believe it's 50 different people. And imagine looking at a profile where there are dozens and dozens and dozens of people saying, "Wow, that Kelly Malazzi, not only is she famous, but she's extremely talented and she's going to give great advice." And it's that whole group. It's the mob mentality. So many people love Kelly that I'm going to love her too. Uh, but reach out to people and say, "Would you please write a recommendation?" If you've never done this before, just know that you get to preview the recommendation before it gets posted. So
But be thoughtful about who you're asking to, please. Don't ask somebody that you don't know or that doesn't know you very well. You want to have somebody who can speak specifically to your skill sets and to what it's like to work with you and
mhm.
is going to have no trouble saying nice things about you. You don't want to ask just anybody.
And then finally, join groups. This is a great one. I love doing this, and I belong to probably 18 or 19 different groups. And you get the daily emails and the weekly summaries from them. But especially if it's something you're interested in, that's terrific. But get involved in the groups that your customers and prospects are involved in. And this information is right on their profile page. It's right on their homepage, what groups they belong to. So if you get engaged in that conversation and they're engaged in the conversation, they will see your name. And so long as you are making intelligent comments, they will think favorably of you, and that will grease the skids and make it easier for you to get an appointment. Right? And Kelly, you belong to a number of groups. What value do you see there?
Well, again, the groups also are a great way. If you notice that there's a lot of people in groups that you're second and third degree connected to, there's no reason that you shouldn't, just by virtue of membership in the same groups, get connected to them.
Yes.
And there are people, Mary Beth Smith is one that I can, comes to my mind right off the top of my head, that I was associated with strictly through LinkedIn groups for several years before I ever met her face to face at Graph Expo last year.
Mm-hmm.
She and I have talked a lot. We've collaborated quite a bit, helped each other out in many cases. I mean, and this is just strictly by virtue of connecting via LinkedIn. So there's a lot of value in these groups, and you can also start your own group too if you want to. I mean, if there's some sort of particular affinity that you have that you think isn't being served by the current number of groups, you could start something. Like she's got one called Sales Chicks that I love, and she's got one called Girls Who Print. And again, though both of those groups have plenty of men in them, she saw an opportunity and a need for women to be able to kind of commiserate and collaborate in that space. And I think that's just been really, really outstanding.
All right, cool. All right, just made Mary Beth very happy.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, there's some thoughts on, excuse me, there's some thoughts on how to use LinkedIn. Kelly, thank you very much for your insight.
Thanks, Bill.
It's great that I know someone famous like you. And we'll talk to you all next week in the next short attention span webinar.